Is somebody on the low to you. So like I said, it starts around 2003 when I'm working at a high-end retail store. You know what I mean? And it kind of concludes around 2010 to 2014 with people actually setting me up in some type of provoking way to snap me out of control. And somebody might say, well, why would they snap you out of control? Well, in 2003, while I was working at the high-end retail store, there was a guy that was a lab technician that worked there by the name of D'Angelo, like Joey D'Angelo was his name. And there was another guy that was there that was connected in a weird type of way, named Dominic Sarnice. And what happened was they put something on some type of sandwich. Now, you might say that that just sounds paranoid and suspicious, but why would so many people afterwards try to go out of their way to snap me out of control, isolate me, so on and so forth, ostracized by family members, so on and so forth? Like, it's so much stuff that happened. It's probably because they put something of a chemical to my body that was supposed to have me snap out of control. And it just never ended up working the way that they wanted. Now, that's just my theory. And it's also just my theory that they're, trying to steal my dead corpse as a means to take the cellular tissue, break it down, and formulate a biological weapon. But some of these things kind of seem like that to me. Like, you might say that I'm just a crazy person or whatever, but, this world is kind of a real trickery. There's a level of craftiness to it that you just would never understand. And if you were to live through some of the situations that I lived through, which I shouldn't have lived through, and my life expectancy was to be just at 21, coming from the 80s as a black male, well, you would say, yeah, maybe there is some type of experiment being conducted on the person. Now, I mean, maybe there's a reason why he saw the girl Shantae from William Penn at the Wawa today when he went to go, get some coffee. Now, I mean, at a Wawa that I would never see her at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the way out in the Northeast somewhere. All the way up in Willow Grove where I was working, where these things had took place. Where it was up Willow Grove where they had... The guy said he had these sandwich deals and he was working. I was working there with these people, white people. And I thought that I was getting in cool with these people. But I always thought that they kept putting something on the sandwich. Because, I only got oil on the sandwich. But, maybe they were clean. I don't know. But years later, I just watched how those people, instead of wanting to pay me, instead of wanting to make me an asset to their company, I watched how they all went out of their way to try to provoke me into anger situations so that they could slay me or so that they could do something to me. I watched that. I watched them do that. And I noticed that there was a phantom criminal associated with my social security number, where I almost got hit with the double taxes and double charges of another individual committing crimes. I seen that. And the only place that they would be able to get my info or my social security number is like only a few places. I worked for Orc, which was underneath Dwight Evans. I worked for Willow Grove at a high-end retail store that a lot of people know about. I didn't really work nowhere. And then in 2005, I received a letter from Securitas when I was working downtown at 1500 Market, which they even had me on the news around then because there was a bomb that went off. It was during the same course of years where the politician had climbed up on the William Penn statue and threatened to kill himself. And like I said, I have received a letter in 2006 that vital information of their employees was stolen at Securitas. And it would have been my information too. So you can say that that's a lie, but why would they put the spoof out there? Why would they gaslight it? Whereas though, if I wish I had that letter, that showed that that's something that happened while I was working at Securitas. They stole information of employees. If they weren't trying to mimic what they already knew happened over at Willow Grove with me, where they took my information and they committed some type of crime with some person that they were willing to look the other way for. Because they thought in the long run, I'd probably just go crazy because they probably laced some food or something like that that was meant to drive me insane. So you can say I'm lying, but some of those details kind of feel strong.